Welcome into another episode of Cheat Code Weekly, where we discuss everything video game collecting and investing. I am, of course, Greg, once again joined here by Henry. And today we're going to talk about the end of physical game collecting. Is physical game collecting going to die? The hobby, video game collecting, is it going to die when the manufacturers stop printing physical games? Video game collecting is going to die and go to zero. That's the big narrative that seems to exist within video game collecting spheres, with gamers and collectors as we get closer to this all digital future. It's coming, probably next generation, I would assume. I don't even think Nintendo will print physical cartridges next generation. That'll be what the Switch to the Switch 2 is 8 years, 7 years, which is insane. By 20, what would that take us to? 2033 maybe? Like, there's no way. There's no way we're getting physical games still there. But the thing with that, and what me and Henry both agree on here, is that the death of new modern physical games, the death of physical media, is actually going to be the next explosion for physical game collecting, for retro video game collecting. And it's true. New kids aren't going to have this tangible experience of video games. It's just not an issue for this lifetime. Very overblown with that. Like, oh, new generations aren't going to want. Man, I'm 31 right now. If they stop making physical video games tomorrow, what do we have for a runway? 30 years, 40 years, 50 years before the generation of like 80s, 90s, 2000 gamers begin to die off? We need multiple generations to die off here. And to just stop caring about collecting, stop caring about retro gaming for that to happen. And the supply of physical is forever finite. And for right now, and again, this is probably going to be for the next 5 to 10 years, the hobby is expanding. More people are being introduced to video games. More people are being introduced to retro gaming. Like, we are still in I guess I'd call it a heyday still here for video game collecting. I mean, it certainly seems like it's as popular as it's ever been. I think prices are as high as they've ever been. But with the end of physical media specifically here, why it's going to cause things to actually go up rather than kill off the hobby. Let's start with the first thing here. People are going to realize, and I think people already are starting to realize here, now that the Switch is going to cost you, the Switch 2, $500 for the console, brand new games, $80, $70, retro gaming, retro collecting simply isn't an expensive hobby. It is not an expensive hobby. And I think more and more and more, as the ceiling of modern gaming keeps increasing in price, this is going to get more and more appealing, especially when you don't have a physical product to even justify your $80 purchase. There was a video someone posted in the Discord. You probably saw it. It's probably Title who posted it, but Orbalology, I can't pronounce her channel title there, but she had a video titled "New Games Are Expensive, So I'm Going Back to Retro." And it emphasizes this exact same notion here, where if you want to start being a Switch 2 collector, it's like $500 for the console. Every brand new game is $80. So she's showing off that she's going through PS2, picked them all up at a convention. I think she was at Midwest Gaming Classic. It's like the most popular one.
Midwest Gaming Classic.
There it is. She's showing off stuff like Ratchet and Clank, Lego Star Wars, Jak and Daxter, Lord of the Rings, Ico, Dark Cloud, all these amazing PS2 games, which like those range from what, 10 to 30 bucks? Somewhere in there for all of them. I mean, maybe Dark Cloud's 30, maybe Ico's 30. Like, you just have these amazing, amazing video games here. And when games are now getting this expensive, we have 40 years worth of gaming history that exists, where if anyone is jaded about the physical going away, I no longer want to support modern development, everyone can just go backwards now with this. And I think they are going to go backwards, even if it's not just for gaming, but like for the collecting purposes, for sure.
So let's make a parallel to sports cards. Modern sports cards are freaking crazy, right? You have like the most basic of brands of boxes. They print them to death, and they're at least like 150 to $200, and everything you get in is like complete trash. And then you have these high-end boxes, like literally $800 to $1,000 for one box, right? And that's part of the reason, like, people don't notice in Pokemon if they're only doing Pokemon, but a lot of sports cards people got into Pokemon, especially these sports card stores. All of them are stocking up on like these modern products. So that's why all the modern product is getting gobbled up by new sources of like not only rip and shippers, but also these people who never were interested in Pokemon to begin with, but they just want to flip them for money, which is these sports card stores. So whenever you get something that gets way out of like reach for normal people, there is a counterbalance in going to, some other substitute. Instead of getting a modern sports card box, you get a Pokemon box, and then that's why, Pokemon boxes were always $100, but when you have all these people coming in, now you can flip them for double or triple or however much, things are now. So,
Yeah, to simplify that,
just
you're saying the sports boxes went up to like 800 to 1,000. So people who otherwise would have been buying sports are now pivoting to Pokemon.
No, yeah, but especially the sports card stores. I'm not
Okay,
even
okay.
talking about the people who are buying. Like that's why you have a dearth of supply for modern Pokemon because you have all these new sources coming in that just want the modern boxes. But like okay, the corollary I'm trying to make here is
Yeah,
that
bring it
yes,
home, bring it home.
yes. So if modern games are gonna be $80, you're gonna go back to retro and buy it for $10, right? That's it. Like, there's maybe only one or two games that people are gonna buy for modern games that are worth $80. Maybe it is GTA 6 because you could play that for 10 years, or maybe it is Mario Kart World because they're gonna keep updating over time. But the run of the mill first party $80 Nintendo game might not be as popular anymore because it's just there's a psychological ceiling to how much the game should be worth. And with how price conscious it seems like gamers are, I don't think it's gonna fly for a lot of
A
people.
little bit of a
So
sensitive group.
very, very sensitive. But
Very.
anyway, so even if physical was completely gone, which we both think is probably gonna come the next cycle, or at the very least the cycle after that, the people who want to collect are just it's innate within us, right? I don't know of like how you started collecting, but I remember as a kid, I collected everything from rocks to like stickers. Like I remember like getting stickers from the dentist and putting them in my little book, even though they're completely worthless. I just liked having stuff or to like put stuff together, right? So, yeah, collectors are not made, they're sort of born. And even if physical goes away, I feel like people just still want to have something, not just NFTs and show it off on their phone. There's going to be a small subset of people who want to actually feel and touch things.
I don't even think it's a small subset. I would even say that like in the gaming realm, right? Because
Yeah.
these people now there are going to be people who still buy everything. I get it. That's still going to be a thing. But I do think we go more like you said, where at $80 a game, people are simply a lot more selective. People aren't going to be lining their shelves with every single brand new game. Anything that gets a physical print, I guess, maybe. But I do think it's going to become a lot more selective. But for those people who still want to collect things, which is a large group of this, gamers are there's certain traits and stuff that are amongst all of us that where we like
Okay.
having stuff, we like the organization, we like lining shelves, we like that. There's a lot of OCD, autism, there's a lot of that stuff in this hobby. A lot of people are still going to want to get something physical. I think it bodes extremely well for like PS4, PS5, Switch, where these other ultra modern things where the libraries on these consoles are big, very big. So if we're
Yeah.
talking now that modern gaming is not going to be printing physicals, what? Maybe it's a hot take. There's not much difference between a PS4 and a PS5 game. I don't think there's going to be much difference between a Switch and a Switch 2 game. I don't think it matters that much if we're talking about modern gaming. That there's all these PS4 and Switch games that I think are going to become collectible as the new modern generations are phased out because everyone starts going backwards one generation, especially for gaming people. I get it. Going back to
Yeah.
PS2 might be a leap, but those ones that are right prior, they're going to be huge.
Yeah. It like even if none of these companies print anymore, we know LRG is going to still print, but let's
Yeah.
just assume they
Yeah.
don't print anymore. I think there's still enough games out there for people to get. Like it's just plain and simple. Like people keep complaining, "Oh, seal collectors are like taking up all the supply." Dude, trust me, we're like 1% of the 1% of the 1% out there. We're not even a blip in the radar. But for the actual supply out there, remember this stuff is mass produced. There are like millions of copies of a lot of these games. If you want one, you can get one, and we're not doing anything to the prices of it. Like it's a completely different market. But anyway, you can get it, and that's why exactly like this is the same with sports cards people, where it's like, oh, you can go modern, but you still have all this vintage stuff from way back in the day. There's like millions of these cards, and they're not rare. The only rare part of it is if you get it in nice condition.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I just think
And
this
that's why we create the
notion,
collect graded.
like the notion even with sports cards, right? It's like, oh, if they stop printing sports cards tomorrow, like people who collect sports or collect TCG, they aren't just going to stop.
Yeah, they're not gonna
A
stop.
collector doesn't just stop buying because they stop printing. You just start buying something else. That's the
Yeah.
main catalyst that I think is going to happen, because when we have all these people who need to just scratch the itch, even in that orbalology video, she talked about like she doesn't know if she's going to play them all, but like having them on the shelf is great, which obviously me and you understand
Wait,
immensely.
what? She's not gonna
Yeah,
play all her games? What? That's
exactly, right?
sacrilegious.
Like
She's not
fake
a real
gamer, fake
collector.
collector, we should go and brigade the channel.
Terrible.
That cannot stand.
Uh, we got to go after her. Anyway.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so take yourself back to the pandemic time. When you I don't know how it was in Canada, but here in the US, at least in the beginning, like you couldn't even go out. There's no one driving, no one's on the streets. Like when they took away like your freedom of movement, like what did most people do? They went online. They started buying up all this stuff, right? So when you lose something, let's imagine that people now take away all your physical games. What do you think is going to happen?
Yep, people are gonna long
Do they
for it, man.
are they gonna want it, or are
They,
they
they,
just be like, oh,
it's
it's
that
dead, forget
psychology.
it, I don't want it.
It's literally the psychology of human beings. It's like, oh, you can't have physical
Yeah,
games anymore. What are you? You're gonna double down on wanting them.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like the prohibition. You can't drink anymore. They had all these bars, secret bars going around drinking to the point where like, okay, we can't stop it. Let's just make drinking legal again.
Yeah, well,
It's
I
the
mean,
same thing.
I don't want to say it's what Canada did with like weed as well, but it's like, oh man, we'll just like make it legal then, and then it's like it's not
Exactly.
cool to do it anymore, and people are just like indifferent.
Indifferent now, yeah, but
There's
before
a
it was
weird
cool, so
psychological effect when it's like,
it
oh,
is.
you can just go do it whenever you want. And it's like, oh, don't really want to be honest with you. Like
Yeah,
it's,
and it's
it's
happened over and over and over again in every single, aspect of life. So for the people, yes, in the long term, it may hurt, right? Because the people who never grew up with physical, they don't like they haven't even been introduced to it, so they need to learn about it. But for the people who do see physical games, like not in our lifetime, it's not going to be a problem.
But
That's it.
look at the store closures, right? 360 store closure. Everyone had to go buy 360 games. Wii U, 3DS, these store closures. Oh my god, I need to buy all the crap that's on the online store right now in case I can never get it again. Games that you didn't spend what? The online stores are open for 15 years. People never bought the stuff, but it was like, oh my god, as soon as it's going away, right? They just feel like they have
Yeah.
to buy up everything. Like any 360 game, it's just, oh my gosh. Once it is said and stated very clearly that physical gaming is going away, I think we're going to see an insane uh that YouTube loop is going to be created, man. Where like, why I only buy physical games now, why I only buy retro gaming. That's going to be the loop that comes.
Yeah, so you think it's going to be actually a renaissance of physical collecting? You think more people will be interested in it?
Yep, I do. I think you're gonna have people who never cared. People who are like, oh, I only buy digital and stuff. And then you're going to get this feedback loop on Twitter, on social media, on YouTube of why physical is so very important. And those people are going to start buying, like I said, your Switch, your PS4, your PS5, whatever
Yeah.
the newer generation, whatever they are nostalgic for, where they might have only bought digital. I
Yeah.
don't believe that you have to have held a physical in order to have nostalgia or want a physical representation.
I agree with that, but a lot of people who say the death of physical is going to mean that, no one wants to collect it anymore, they're going to come up with that reason. It's like, well, people don't even know what a physical game is, so why would they want it? I think it's more to the point where the physical game is a representation of your experience with that game rather than, oh, I've had this a feeling of a physical game in my hand before. I think
That's
that's what
exactly
it
what I wanted
is.
to bring up. I was going to bring up here. We're talking about collectors and stuff, right? Because I think that opinion comes from gamers who are like, "Oh, like who cares? It's they don't have that earworm or that disease of having to collect stuff. So they're like, "Oh, well, if you've never had a game before, who cares? Who cares about collecting?" And it's like, well, I do because I'm a collector and I want something to line my shelf. And I wanted to bring up Funko Pops, right? We talk about people who've never had physical games or had this representation of a game, store memories, Babbage's, Toys R Us, all this crap, right? All of these links to nostalgia, that's the only reason people are going to want games. People just buy Funko Pops, man. It's like the most basic, no nostalgia. They just slap some paint on there. Oh my god, it's Spider-Man as a Funko, and people just gobble it up because it's a physical representation. It's something
of
to collect.
Spider-Man.
It's
Yeah,
something to show your fandom.
yeah. I agree. And then no, I mean I agree. The Funko's the Funko. It's the same size. It's the same packaging. It's just
Like there's nothing
slap the
nostalgic
lipstick
there.
on a different pig.
It's like the
There's
number one
nothing
selling
nostalgic.
collectible in the world right now. There's nothing
No.
nostalgic about them. They're crap.
Hey, maybe we should buy Funko Pops instead because so many people buy them. So it touches so many lives, right? Right?
So
Right? Is that
people
what
are
it
going to be
is?
nostalgic for them. Like they're going to want to buy
Yeah.
up more Funko in
Yeah,
20 years. Like
yeah.
this all makes perfect sense.
We should sell our games and buy Funko. Got it. That's the thumbnail. That's the thumbnail. Cool.
Yeah,
But
seriously.
But yeah, just talking about like nostalgia and stuff, like the vintage cards and comics, and especially coins, right? Like some of the stuff is nostalgic, but by and large, like something like coins, it's all about historical value and like historical appreciation. I think eventually, if you believe that video games is still going to be this popular for, yeah, I mean, it is the most popular, most profitable entertainment medium in the world, right? It is. It's just more bigger than Hollywood and everything combined. If you believe that that's the case, then perhaps maybe we should all view video games more as a historical preservation rather than just hoarding up mass, right?
I think the appreciation of the art form or the even the art of what they like the physicals represent is going to become a lot more appreciated once it's taken away.
Yeah,
That's this like the biggest
yeah,
caveat is
that's the
right
thing.
now a lot of people I think truly just treat them as consumables where it's as fleeting as going to see a movie. So once the
Yeah,
movie's out of theater, it's not like you're like, oh my god, it's gone or anything. You're just you saw your movie and you're done. But I think games are going to have, especially physical things, are going to have that want for people to change the way they approach or appreciate or represent them.
and I think games also, but okay, games we both agree that it has historical value, but
Yep.
it definitely has nostalgic value too because there's like you're spending like let's say your favorite game is Celeste, right? You spent 15 hours playing that thing. Like you spent like almost an entire day playing that game. That's why you want to get the 95 plus, right? That's why you want to get it, and then you think other people want it too. So everything comes in cycles as well, right? Like in the 90s, people loved UFO jeans. I don't know if you've ever seen
I
like
loved
super
what,
big
sorry?
baggy jeans. UFO jeans. Super big and baggy like vinyl jeans. It's not even like denim, it's vinyl jeans. That was what was in elementary school when
Okay,
I
okay,
went.
okay.
They're coming back.
Oh, baby.
They are. Yeah.
I'm gonna have
So
to
like
Google that and put up a picture because I don't even know like what you're talking about. So
yeah, yeah, you should. So, they're coming back in style, like slowly, but you see them around like Brooklyn hipster neighborhoods and stuff. So, games are probably going to do the same thing. It has pandemic boom, and then people going to look back and then be like, "Hey, what was my childhood? I want some of this." So, I think games have this interesting like balance between nostalgia and historical
well, I think that's what
significance.
vinyl nailed with kind of that like the
Yeah.
link to nostalgia and the link to history while being able to introduce it still to the modern generation of a physical,
Yeah.
tangible way. Like what MP3s exist, MP4s, like we don't need vinyl. Vinyl doesn't have to exist. There's no reason for
Definitely
it
no
to
need.
exist.
Yeah.
And yet it is thriving in 2025 in a world where I guess like CDs still exist too. Like everything still exists. There's literally no reason for vinyl to exist. I know some audiophiles are going to be like, well, actually, it's a different. I don't give a shit. There's no reason for vinyl to exist right now. It doesn't have to. And yet it
Yeah.
thrives because it can capture that niche and it captures that. It's like the tactile experience that will forever be
Yeah.
sought after by certain subsets of people.
Yeah. I mean, and just sort of to close it out, yeah. With so physical collecting may be dead in the future. Like, not collecting, physical games
Physical
being
collecting, maybe in
printed.
100 years. I know that's something Sean harps on, where it's like in 200 years, Superman will. I don't care. Who cares if Superman's not around 200 years? I'm not around.
Yeah, it's not our issue, but
Not
let's
our
just
issue.
say, yeah, it's not our issue, but let us think in 100 years. Let's just assume that we can transport ourselves in 100 years. Do you think physical games are dead? Because I think the video game medium will still be around. People still want to play games, but maybe it's a VR headset now instead of like, on your console or your computer. But I think the interaction of that art form is still going to be there. And then maybe Mario's still around too. If Superman's gonna be around, why wouldn't Mario be around too? Right? Or Zelda or even Pokemon. Everyone thinks Pokemon's gonna live forever. So where do you see video games being in 100 years from now?
Yeah, like I still existing. Obviously, like you said, it'll be a different form of consumption with them, probably. But
Yes,
still, the idea of using, I mean, maybe we'll use thoughts to control motions, but using a controller, whatever you want to call it, to interact with a medium isn't going anywhere. And I think
that's what
truly,
I'm
as we
thinking.
do it,
Yeah,
like what I said, there's 40 years of history, right? Oh my God, 40. Video games are brand new still, man. That's the biggest
they
thing is
are.
like, I think it's really hard for a lot of people to wrap their heads around the notion that video games are art or video games are historically relevant because there just isn't enough history. Calling it historically relevant when it only stretches back to like, I guess, what, the 70s for home video, it doesn't sound
That's true.
impressive. It doesn't
Yeah.
sound, it doesn't sound like history. So I think there is that big, like once we go 100 years, it's like, wow, well, first, how the hell has this survived factory sealed for 100 years? And then it's, you
Yeah.
can appreciate games and these representations in a completely different way.
Yeah. I agree. I think that physical game publishing is probably going to be dead by then.
Like,
But
probably.
yeah,
But
but
it's so tough though, because like we said with the collector gene, there's always a subset of people who want, like, you can always sell physical to someone. I don't think that notion's going
probably,
away. I think
yeah,
gaming is going
but
towards the code in a box era, where people who just
yeah,
want a physical, even if you're just getting a DLC slip, at least you get something.
but let's even use comics as an example right now. Sure, comics are being printed, but is it really thriving? I don't think people are going out to stores and being like, "Oh, I want the
I think
physical
it's a very
comic
niche
book."
subset of people who still buy comics.
Yes, and that might be the case of 100 years in the future too for video games, but it's still around,
I
man,
mean,
and I think it
I
still will
can't
be.
buy expensive comics. Period. Right? Like I can't afford them. They're expensive as hell,
Yeah,
man, to get anything super
yeah,
relevant for comics.
and that's all historical.
Yeah, they're
That's
not
all
being bought
historical
for
value.
consumption anymore. No one's buying
No.
Action 52. Oh my god.
AF-15,
Yes, AF-15.
Comics
Thank you.
One, Detective. I think it's Detective Comics something.
27, I think.
Yeah,
I got to
something like
redeem
that.
myself here. Action 52. Oh
Okay.
my god. As if
Actually,
that's the game
oh,
that comes.
that's an NES game
Yeah,
then.
that's what
Action
I was thinking
52.
of was Action 52 instead of Amazing Fantasy or AF-15 or Action Comics or anything. I went to Action
Yeah.
52. That's historical
Hey,
relevance right there, folks.
hey, you're a gamer, video game collector through and through,
First and
not a
foremost,
comic
that's where the
collector.
brain goes. Even when I'm trying to make a comic example, I just go straight to frickin' Action 52. But
Yeah.
I think forever people are, and the IPs that survive, it's why we push so hard on Mario, Zelda, and the Pokemon, the most common stuff. As long as IPs survive, I think. I think the biggest fear for anything from an investment or how relevant or will people still be purchasing it standpoint isn't the loss of physical media, isn't if new people have physical games or not. It's if there's relevance to the IP or not.
Yep.
Is Zelda still around? Is Mario still around? Is Pokemon still around? If the answer to that is no, then no kid is going to care about it. The same way I don't buy a Lionel train. The same way I don't buy, I don't even know other old, I don't collect the Wild West stuff, whatever it is. Chuck Norris memorabilia, right? I don't know any of his movies or anything. It just, as time erodes certain IPs and stuff, that is the biggest fear to, well, people want to buy it later. Not whether or not a brand new medium or physical medium exists, in my opinion.
And for beyond just the IPs, as long as people still play video games in whatever form it may be in the future, it will still be relevant. Right. That's it.
People, you need to bust out the you need to buy back, I guess, a Magnavox Odyssey. Like you need to get one. After enough
I'm not
years
buying back
pass,
my Magnavox Odyssey. I'm
after
not
enough
buying
years
back
pass,
that.
people are gonna be like, "Man, what was the first home video console?"
It's true. It's true. I had a nice one too, man. It was nice.
As
And
much as I
supposedly it was
want to
like a
like,
first print copy.
yeah, as much as I want to like joke about it, make it a meme. If everything we say in this video is true about art form, historical relevance, moving backwards, the Magnavox Odyssey should be a key collectible in another 20, 30, 50 years.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if we still survive then.
Is
Not us. I'm
me and
talking about
you
like
or the
physical.
hobby?
No, physical. The hobby itself. I thought it was dead already. I thought Job's, put us to the ground already.
Yeah,
So
the hobby's already dead. Exactly.
yeah,
But
hobby's dead.
hopefully, me and you are both still around for 50 years too.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Buy, sell, hold of the week. This week is going to be Silent Hill on PS1. It is by far marquee horror franchise. I think, I mean, I guess it's probably past its prime in that sense. The Silent Hill 2 remake came out, which people frickin' loved, man. The reviews on that, everything was huge. I don't know if you played it myself. I know it's a hot take to say. I found the game boring. I assume the original is better in every way because I found the modern release to be like padded out, slow, tedious, and rather a chore to get through. Not a popular opinion. I don't think it needed to be extended. The original is like an 8 hour experience. The modern version's like a 20-hour experience. They didn't need to do that. It took away everything that made, I think, everything that made the atmosphere and the mystery of the original intact, so to say. But then you lose
Mm-hmm.
a lot of that when you're just doing needless busy work in order to like
Yeah.
appease modern. A game has to be long. Whole nother talk for a whole nother day.
Trying to get value out of your game, man. That's
Yeah.
it.
Again, right? A whole nother discussion, but like, does length equal quality? It doesn't. But neither here nor there. Silent Hill on PS1. The last 9.88 plus, the reason we're going to bring it up here, just sold days ago as of recording on Golden Auctions, 9.88 plus $1,959, which is by every data point I can see, the lowest the 9.88 plus has sold for since 20 in 2023 it was more, in 2024 it was more. Like we might have to go back to like 2020 to try and find a comp for
Yeah,
like
before the
2000.
pandemic
Yeah,
time.
basically pre-pandemic pricing, exactly.
Yeah.
Silent Hill, the picture's super dark. I have it on my phone here. Like there's foil and non-foil variants, which even for myself as someone who like pays a lot of attention, it's hard to tell the difference in photos, man. Like really hard.
Yeah. You gotta have them side by side. It's like the Smash Bros. Printed in Japan and not printed in Japan. You
Yeah.
can't tell until you see it side by side, and it's super obvious. But I think the reason why this one sold for lower than what we think it should be was because people don't know if it's foil or not. They didn't write it on the
Yeah,
label,
Golden
on the
didn't note
water
if it was or
label.
not. So even myself,
Yeah.
right? It's interesting. You're saying lower than it should be. Should Silent Hill 1 be a PS1 Grail? I was gonna bid like $1,500 on this 9.88 plus here, just for reference, because like I think it should be myself.
I think it's definitely one of the PS1 games you want to have. Top 10? I don't know if it's a top 5 game though. But for horror fans, I mean, it's like that's the game. That's one of the games to have, right? For PS1.
I just
Along with
think
Clock
I
Tower?
would even extend that out to in general for horror fans. Like if you're gonna say I'm a
Really?
horror fan collector,
Okay.
like you have to, of course you should have Silent Hill 1 and 2. Of course
Yeah.
you should.
Okay. I mean, I like Silent Hill. I still think I mean, at best, a tier 3 franchise.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
for sure.
it's
For
way
sure.
past its prime, like you said. They're
Silent Hill
making
2
some
is
remakes here
the
and
remake
there.
was the biggest thing that happened to that franchise in the past
10,
15
15
years.
years.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I didn't
Uh,
touch any of the PS3 360 ones like Downpour and I can't even name them now.
Rainfall or whatever. Who knows?
Homecoming, yeah, didn't I they might have been good, don't know. It just kind of
Yeah.
fell off.
So, like long-term relevant, I don't know how relevant it will be in the future. Anyone who played the PS1 definitely remember. I remember playing the first Silent Hill.
Okay, I
It
was
was
too
great.
young. I was too young.
Yeah. I remember the blocky graphics, but then everything was like, you had the fog of war, like thick fog, and then you can hear the dogs barking at you, but then your radio is going off too, and then that's
Yeah.
when it's signaling like something's near you, and it just scared the crap out of a lot of
Yeah, I
people.
think
It was
all that
great.
ambiance that you just described is everything that was lost in the remake. Because you had fixed
Yeah.
camera angles, you had that little bit of distortion, you had bad graphics, all of that combined for like part of the Silent Hill experience.
Yeah. Um, I think it's a great
9.68
game.
plus the sorry, just pricing here. The
Yeah.
9.68 plus foils are still in the $2,000 range. So if this 9.88 plus was indeed a foil copy, I think it was a steal. But
Yeah.
I had to go into it lowballing as well because they didn't mention it.
Well, what do you think a 9.8 A plus should go for? Like at least 3K?
I would say if it's advertised properly, foil version 2,500 is where it should be right now. At least 2,500. So, I was
Okay.
willing to come in at 1,500 lowball a bit. As Silent Hill, it never really exploded, I don't think, in pricing. Like what, maybe
There
6,000 ish?
there was a Silent, well, during the pandemic everything went up, but there was a Silent Hill 2 9.8 A plus plus during, like, this was maybe 3 4 years ago on eBay that sold for 16K. This is a
I think I
PS2 game.
remember that, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
So I
kind of
mean
interesting with Silent Hill, where number two is kind of the game to own. Like we talk about what matters most, right? Like the first release or the most relevant release. Silent Hill 2, like
I guess
might
people
just
think Silent Hill 2 is the better game. It probably is. I never played it. I only played the first one. But yeah, like if you're a
even
Silent
in the
Hill collector, you
pandemic,
want the
sorry.
first one too.
Even in the pandemic,
Sorry?
Silent Hill 1 only ever got up to 6,600. That's November 2022.
What grade was it?
9.8 A plus.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I
Yep.
guess they're just
VGA 95, 7,000, August 2022. Like it's expensive, obviously. Like, the price is down 60 some percent, but it
it's
never,
not
a 9.6A
16K.
plus 7,500. That's the peak. 9.6A plus 7,500. Absolute peak
Yeah.
sale.
Okay.
That's it.
I guess if the 98 were to come out then probably would have been a 10K
It probably
game.
would have been
So
10K. Yeah, a little bit over
yeah,
10K.
yeah.
It's I don't want to say underwhelming for what Silent Hill is, and maybe
It
I'm
sort of
just
is.
like what?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I would think the first game should be worth more than the second game, but
I think so
I don't
too,
know.
personally. Albeit, there's the funny. I have it open right here, so I'll just say Silent Hill 2, a 9.88 plus CGC, sold in March for $1,000. So it's like Silent Hill 2 is
Okay.
also very much down from where it was.
Sure.
If we take that into comparison, the 9.88 plus of Silent Hill 1 is outselling number 2 now.
But the real issue was is it a foil or not? And you can't tell from the photos.
Yeah.
And the WATA label doesn't label it for some reason. So
CGC
I would
puts like the SLUS number on it, which is like I don't even
yeah.
know what that like pertains to. It just oh my gosh.
Oh, it was a CGC, not a WATA label?
The WATA one was the WATA one was at Golden. And yeah, it doesn't
So
say.
yeah,
It
the
just
WATA one
says
was like
it says
yeah.
M rating pixelated, which like no, yeah, of course it is. They all are. Thanks.
Maybe yeah, I don't know. I guess someone dropped the ball. You definitely should have written foil or non-foil, but
I'm looking
yeah,
for
I
a
mean
copy, is what I'll say. I think at this price point where we're like 9.88 plus marquee horror title, PS1 Silent Hill, 1,500 to $2,000, it doesn't strike me as expensive for what it is, personally.
don't sell it, either buy or hold it. I think that's
Yeah,
what
well,
we're going
100%.
yeah.
100%. Even 9.68 plus, don't sell it at this point. Get like $1,000
No
for
reason
it.
to. Yeah.
It's no, buy it. I am trying to buy. I have a lot of stuff I'm always looking for. Silent Hill. Quietly, man, quietly. I like horror a lot, and I like the horror franchises.
So would you rather 96A plus Silent Hill or Celeste 95 plus? Because both of them are $1,000, right? No,
Oh,
that's what you're
Celeste
trying to
is. Of
tell me,
course it
right?
is. Of course it is. Yeah, of course
Exactly.
Celeste is $1,000 game.
Yes. So
I'll
someone
talk.
just has to pay you for it first, but yes,
They'll
it's a
get there.
thousand
They'll
dollar
get
game.
there. They know.
Okay.
Isn't it funny that
Okay.
that's the comparison though? That like I'm genuinely trying to sell Celeste for like $1,000, and it's like
Yeah, exactly.
the
It's
same
like
price as
Silent Hill or
Silent Hill.
Celeste. Yeah.
That's what I mean though when we talk about like these marquee PS1 horror games, and it's like a Switch 9.8 Breath first print is like what? It's more than that.
Way more than that. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
definitely more
just
than that.
like
Yeah.
9.88 plus Odyssey first print. I don't know, man. It just the
It's
price
relevance, man.
relativity.
It's relevance and IP. The Silent Hill is just, it's a tier three franchise.
That's why,
If
I
even.
guess bringing it full circle there, when I talk about loss of relevance and IP fatigue and then fading away and stuff, that dictates everything. Like if Silent Hill were to come back, and I think it will, personally, that's why I'm kind of high on Silent Hill, because I think what it is as a story and a concept will find its way back into like a mainstream movie eventually. I think the other movie was 2006, 7, 8, 5, sometime in there. It didn't review
The,
well. It was like,
pro- the problem is that it's owned by Konami. That's the problem. Just like Konami owns Metal Gear,
we can get a Silent
and
Hill
that's sort
pachinko
of
machine.
dying.
Like, what do you mean?
They should. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that's the moneymaker. That's the moneymaker. You're right. Yeah.
you're right. You're right. But that's where my hope is, right? I pick up a copy for 1,500 today, and 5 years from now, we have a great movie, we have a franchise, we have an HBO series.
Oh, HBO series,
I
yes.
think Silent Hill could do it all, man. I do. I think the concept and the premise is there.
Okay.
So yeah, my recommendation: buy if you have one, and don't sell it. Don't sell Silent Hill at this. There's no reason to.
I agree.
Let us know what you think about the death of modern collecting. Let us know what you think about Silent Hill. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not. Just subscribe to the channel. It helps out. Hit the like button, and we'll see you guys next week.